aya baba shwe. Amen.
What I believe. See his sunshine is all around us, and there are beautiful clouds where you are. That's how I know that these worries will not last. I can see you've been crying and staying wide awake, asking yourself why the journey is so tough. They say tough times never last, only tough people do. So don't stop believing, I know it's gonna be better. Say la, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 ba-dum. Can't be loved by everybody, it's impossible, you know. And trust me, it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on! La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La.
Makola Market is more than just a marketplace. It is one of the busiest commercial centers in Ghana and a vital part of the country's economic life. But beneath the noise, movement and daily transactions lies a serious sanitation challenge, from discarded food, plastic packaging and other waste generated by traders and shoppers to congested drains and improperly disposed refuse. The market presents a complex picture of commerce meeting environmental responsibility.
Bola ne ya na yeye emfri bebi a na emba ya ye wodwom ya na yeye bola obi kura podi ompra obi kura timi ba kompra bola ne de don super omunya bebi fangu the price no ba jiska no oba ba jiska no wasisa oni bebi odi kogu
obo okoko se bon vango o da kontu bebi basa.
Hey, before bola donkey.
Omo junkies bebre e wa ha sei. Enti omo kwa inside no makwa jeje bola no. Free CMB. Kantamanto. Omo ye nuane ni nyina ebi ohu afufu asi benku. Any ade no mo di aba begua. Every day. There is no single day abeba na bola enia. We mpo ene dey swa.
In Accra, rain means trouble. Choked gutters and overflowing dams cause sudden floods that submerge markets and roads, push garbage and stench into communities, and raise the risk of disease like cholera and malaria. Trade stops, traffic locks, and by the time crews cleared, the next rain hits. Nowhere shows this better than Odona, right around the Kwame Nkrumah Circle interchange.
The problem is the dredging. You understand? They're supposed to make it every year. They're supposed to dredge the place every year so that people can feel comfortable, so that when it rains, it won't be flood. But when they leave it like 1 year, 2 years, normally, you see this place, the Odo is the 16 feet deep. 16 feet. But look at where you are standing. It's almost about 3 feet. So what are they doing about this? The government is supposed to do something about this.
Ghana's coastline is blessed with beautiful beaches that attract residents, tourists, and businesses. Yet, the beauty of these coastal spaces is increasingly threatened by poor waste management, plastic bottles, sachet, and more. How does waste get there, and who is responsible for managing it?
Yeah, well, go to Shilebi or Baba Buana. It's not you are deep particular Diakashi. Bola lolly baby and no car here what Polanch and a bola lolly, but don't have to take a low ball and what bear, what about bola tank. As I want a bola tank, but one of many by one, no get the Shilebi, ni Quambinate school, as I mamma Balo can let the Goshpo, Mamma Beba local. Bola near me. I got one woman work Blachani, a disturb or one you work Blachani, Nalu. Bola soon, Ofito Petro. They follow. Last month, when you say, I can't show them hospital. Yeah, for 2 months, 3 months. Yeah, Jim, I joke about putting Cheshako 2 months for Nimban Chuene. One wish, no one call no pie fight. I'm a quay. Ninu Chumo, I'm a hell, woman, will you be a new watching? I can't, yes, I know he. Can be a fair for one woman or town of a couple more than.
Maybe since I say I don't know what it says. Your baby be a best problem now. Bola don't come say, sir, at Takwashi Bridge. Who first say at Takwashi Bridge, 1 more foot bridge or can the net be as a daddy? Ya did daddy be at the cover. What I said into we are now a few chebano. A chokana machine, a beji. What I say, me plan on.
The printing industry plays an important role in business, education, advertising, publishing, and everyday life. But With printing comes paper of cards, packaging materials, ink containers, and other forms of industrial waste. Printing institutions therefore sit at an important intersection between economic activity and environmental responsibility.
So here we generate what we call hazardous waste and non-hazardous waste. The hazardous waste is an example of the paper we produce and the waste that comes out of the paper production. So how do we generate or dispose of the waste from the paper? The waste from the paper goes to tissue buying companies. So that is what they use mostly in the tissues that you find in your homes. So that is how our waste from the paper is disposed.
While sanitation remains a major national challenge, there are also individuals and groups refusing to simply complain about the problem. The Bus Stop Boys have become known for taking practical action by cleaning public spaces and mobilizing people around environmental responsibility. Their work represents a growing culture of volunteerism and community-led sanitation, particularly among young people. Every day, tons of waste are generated in homes, markets, offices, businesses, and public spaces across Ghana. But after the waste is collected, where does it actually go? The Zoom Park Waste Transfer Center provides an important link in the waste management chain, receiving and handling waste before it moves to its next destination.
When we collect the waste, it doesn't end there. You have to go through the treatment, the processing, everything before we can say that waste has been treated. We don't have transfer stations, we don't have recycling plants, we don't have enough final disposal sites. So for Ghana to get there, right now we have about 6 transfer stations in Accra that is being operational by just one group of companies. We are looking at least every MMDA having a transfer station, because there are influx of aboboya in the system, and we can't do anything about the aboboyas now. Now we have to encourage them and give them the opportunity, a better place for them to dump, so that they don't dump in the drains, they don't dump at unauthorized places.
I say, I'm for Ambassador. A chrome there, chromacy, I'm for Ambassador. Never who a man, I'm up on Monina, or Mamma, Ticiano, a Hanum no cramp on a Hanum, and Twin Jane. Your doors, Hanum Twin Jane. And to be a car, away you are, you have a dump on the blue. Dumping your internet, you manage, so will be a pet, no more to say, Abia or Bia Shiva, Abuja. Yeah, Kasanga Sampon,
From the crowded lanes of Makola Market to the shores of Ghana's beaches, from waste transfer centers to printing houses and volunteer-led cleanup activities, one message is clear: Ghana's sanitation challenge cannot be blamed on one group alone. With these different pieces of the sanitation puzzle, the difficult question is, what will it take for Ghana to move from periodic cleanup exercises to a lasting culture of cleanliness, responsible waste management, and environmental protection? Your guess is as good as mine. Structures.
Hello, God. Are you out there? Can you hear me? Are you listening anymore? Hello, God. If we're still on speaking terms, can you help me like before? I've questioned your existence. My resistance leaves me cold. Can you help me go the distance? Hello, God. Hello, hello. Oh, this old world has gone to pieces. Can we fix it? Is there time? Hate and violence just increases. We're so selfish, cruel and blind. We fight and kill each other in your name, defending you. Do you love some more than others? We're so lost and confused. Hello, God, are you out there? Can you hear us? Are you listening anymore? Hello, God, if we're still out speaking terms, can you help us like before? Oh, the free will you have given, we have made a mockery of. This is no way to be living. We're in great need of your love. Hello, can you grant us love enough to start again? Hello, God, is there still a chance that we can make amends? Hello, God, we've learned our lesson. Oh, God, don't let us go. Hello, God, now more than ever. Hello, God, hello, 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 God, we really need you. We can't make it without you. Hello, God, we beseech you in the name of all that's true. Hello, God, please forgive us, for we know not what we do. Hello, God, give us one more chance to prove ourselves to you. Hello, God, hello, God, hello, God, hello,
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. Today is the 26th of August, 2026. Indeed, as I always say, this is the day the Lord has made. We're glad that we're able to return here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that matter to you, on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. My name is Audu Moro, and thank you very much for tuning into the show. In fact, you do that from Monday to Friday. We appreciate you, we value you, and we're happy that you're able to make time to join us. We don't take that for granted at all. Let me just go straight ahead and look at what the papers are reporting today. And as you do know, it's either starts with the Daily Graphic or starts with the Ghanaian Times. All right, so I'm going to start with the Ghanaian Times for today. And it says, nation's road deaths hit 35-year high. And then there's 2,949 killed on roads in 2025. Road Lines Foundation is the one that's been saying this. And then there's also 7 arrested in Ashanti narcotics crackdown. President Mahama commends Reverend Wengam for visionary bold leadership. And there's Works and Housing Minister vows to revive abandoned projects. There's also government urge to step up fight against air pollution. That's here. You also have the Daily Searchlight. The Daily Searchlight. It says BOG Gold Board 1.7 billion laws. We will not stop speaking, according to the NPP. There's move from Africa. We want to Africa. Move from Africa we want to Africa we work for. Veep charges Africa to own its future. Teaching Arabic is not Islamization. Mustafa Hamid defends Mahama and Bawumia. Now, Smartfin emerges as winner in the UPSA pitch competition. Galamsey worse than the NDC because of gold board MPP alleges. The new Crusading Guy says vigilante groups change tactics, rebranding, and now use encrypted social media networks. National security warns. And it comes to the security alert. The CPS to review 9-year free SHS journey. The Sosa police arrest Moses Bosumping, release him after high-profile pressure in Adamo's alleged $224 million US share fraud saga. Afoko files nomination, vows to reunite and reorganize MPP for 2028 comeback. Gold Board orders self-financing aggregators refine gold dory here or don't export. There's GHIS Roads Ministry partner to end compensation row. That's with the new Crusading Guide. Metro Lens this morning is reporting that Gold Board bans dory exports, probe 22 billion cedis DGPP losses. CPS demand says program design makes losses inevitable. Accra MPP, Greater Accra MPP chairman rally behind Titus Glover for national organizer. MPP demands full account of $1.7 billion US Gold Board BOG loss. The Informer Gold Purchase Program, aggregators cry out over funds. Tackle Galamsey, don't over-celebrate Gold Board gains. Apanya Makindes accuses, report me for extortion or I'll face any investigation. Middle East crisis drains Ghana's $1.2 billion reserves. BOG governor reveals. Bawumia backs minority probe into $1.7 billion US Gold Board losses. IMF warns Ghana against complacency, economic recovery. The Inquisitor, financing gold purchase, banks line up for Gold Board. National policy dialogue on vigilantism held in Accra. NPP backs Apenyu Markin's push for answers of alleged Gold Board losses. Mahama calls for stronger health regulation to protect patients across Africa. The Chronicle, Afoko, I'll work with Bawumia to win 2028. Takwa Lee's renewal hangs in balance. Goldfield seeks fair treatment from Ghana. The Daily Statesman, let's stop weaponizing religion for political gain. Mustafa Abdul Hamid cautions. The SCADEC welcomes GAC entry into Ghana's automotive market. There's also CPS to assess 9 years of free SHS. Nanabi, we need transparent account of $1.7 billion US Gold Board loss. Sunyani Eastern PP's Pa Clay joined NDC, comes with a question mark. The publisher, the Ghanaian publisher, Ejako files for MPP chair, 22 billion cedis DGPP losses. Bagbin Oke's minority Gold Board showdown. Mustafa Hamid dismisses Islamization fears. Daily Guide is what is next. It says, Isia backs Boache Ejako for NPP national chairmanship. Zanato Rawlings Ayerga face MP's grilling. There's a 22 billion cedis gold sale losses. MPP backs minority for inquiry. AG, Ghana, executives call on Mahama. Let's give Bawumia United Party to win 2028 election, according to Afoko. The Daily Graphic. Stroke rises among men aged 30 to 49. Health expert. Government opens talks with Petrobras over Accra Basin oil exploration. Will crack down on new vigilante moves, National Security Coordinator warns. Chamber of Mines and Damos welcome government efforts to revive mine. The Custodian, no cash for Ghana's licensed gold buyers, Reuters reveals. Enough is enough. Osahin drags Sami Jemfi, others to court for character assassination. The MPP demands account of $1.7 billion US Gold Board and BOG losses. Zoom Lion disinfects MMDAs in Central and Ashanti regions. Afoko files for MPP chairmanship pledges to reunite party for victory 2028. Accra Times, Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019, Act 999. National Security Board calls for tougher neutral enforcement. Afoko addresses delegates after filing nomination pledges to reunite, reorganize and recapture power in 2028. There's also Busa North MCA condemns alleged military brutality against Sandema residents. New Unimark SRC boss pledges accountable and inclusive leadership. Buluk-Bisa Club congratulates James Agadga on his appointment as majority leader. Buluk-Bisa. That's with the Accra Times today. The News Center says that NPP backs Apenyo marking over 22 billion cedis gold bond losses. Goldfields pleads fairness. CEO urges Ghana to balance national interest with investment needed to sustain Takwa. Afuko Files pledges inclusive leadership. Parliament to probe 22 billion cedis gold loss according to Bagbing. Right, let's now check out what before we do that, I beg your pardon, let me rather bring to you what the Business and Financial Times is also reporting this morning. It nearly escaped me. So GNPC on track for Q4 drilling in Volterra Basin. The CEO, 2 more offshore wells expected. The SGIPA urges stronger investor aftercare to drive retention and reinvestment. IMF debt assessment failed to fully capture mounting crisis risk, according to Maxofori Afari. And the State Housing Absa Bank partner to expand mortgage financing. Mine Workers Union petition BOG MOF over funds in distress SDIs. GCB Bank is a clear industry leader. Kenya, Nigeria, other African nations lead high-profile delegations in the APCA 2026 in Accra. We can now check out what the quote cards are reporting today. Can we do that as quickly as we can? All right, then. So we have the flag bearer and the New Patriotic Party are in full support of the Minority Caucus. We stand firmly and fully behind our indefatigable minority leader, Osahin Alexander Kwamina Apenyo Markin. That's Nana Boache, who is a national organizer of the NPP. And this one is also Kel from Metro TV Online. It says Atacha criticizes court's refusal to stay Eduboahin in his trial. That's right there. And then still Metro TV Online.com, KSM denies being on NDC payroll, calls his work national sacrifice. Okay. And the SCAF appoints Nigerian officiating team for Mediema TP Mazembe clash. Winner of Togo versus Libya to face Ghana in under-23 AFCON qualifiers. Greater Accra sanitation crisis requires urgent action, Regional Minister Linda Oklu wants. All right, so stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please don't go anywhere.
Tanumo, onunchoni ha o dangma, chiechele wekun, oyanu tumo, osole mojiake, ubawo nani, aya, baba shushu. Amen.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position. Every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water, one for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302 998 246 or 0561 032 252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Chaco toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Chaco toothpaste. Kel Chaco toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Samacha Sapapadia to a mammy manful. Kel Chaco's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, a man is swing, and a sansu mama hoto so a will beg you.
Kel Chaco toothpaste. Choose Kel Chaco toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time.
It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel, that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all. Her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey! Abra, how as the man assault and how unfirma? I'm Marama for more for Mamma. Who is 17? Oh, in your head.
Unti say EBA phones the abrochia bagana. Uto phone na no etua ne nkakra. Nia onya ya Ghana card. Omo circle American mall. Hey, na se we di aduane na wie. Obi a me chacha asem a kire wo no. E na we di aduane ni nyine. Kona ko jode.
With EBA phones, all you need is your Ghana card, a 40% initial payment, and you can take any iPhone of your choice while paying the balance over 3 months. We also offer a 4-month installment plan for students. Corporate organizations and companies can arrange iPhones for their employees through EBA phones, while government workers can conveniently acquire an iPhone and complete payments through approved salary deduction arrangements.
Aka, na ko say.
Oh, my money. Miss who buy you miss out someone who want to buy you. You no Ghana card. Oh, China moon or church name. Yeah, tell me for the amount.
Me catch sir.
GBA phones.
No hassle. Cry.
From the grandest stage, the badges change, but the passion remains. It's a special goal. Promise the hour, come it's the man. This football is from the heavens. What a story this is.
10 months of drama lie ahead. The stage is set.
The biggest stars from the world's biggest leagues on SuperSport. It's on GoTV.
You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. My guests are here. We're going to go straight ahead and look at the big stories for the day. My guests are here, Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr., former managing editor of the Insight newspaper, and also a veteran journalist. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Always was a pleasure. And also with us here is Collins Adoma-Komentsa, his MP for Ifija Kwabre North and the former Deputy Energy Minister. He's also here, but he's also a finance person. He's very knowledgeable in economics. And so he knows his stuff when he's talking. Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, my brother.
Always a pleasure.
Pleasure to be here also.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I've been off for some time, but I'm back.
It's always refreshing.
Yes.
To have you join us. I know there's a promise I'm yet to fulfill. I beg you forgive me. For all have sinned. For falling short of the glory of God, but I fulfill my promise.
I hear you.
We say it in PG. It will happen.
I hear
you. Are you a fan of Dolly Parton?
Well,
America's Dolly Parton, the musical icon.
Well, I've listened to
her
songs.
Right.
I think she's one of the most noticeable figures when it comes to the entertainment industry. Yesterday, her death shook the media space. Yeah. I watched BBC, CNN.
All over the place.
For hours, they kept talking about her, her legacy, the kind of impact she had in the music industry, her philanthropic work, and all that. So I heard the president of the United States asking that flags flying at half masts, all in her recognition of the good work that she did while she was alive. And as I said, she has some very noticeable songs that is quite popular all over the world. Of course, I don't have a personal relationship with her. I'm a high life person, or reggae person. But when I go and I hear her songs, I sit to listen.
Yeah.
I think she did well for herself and for the industry. And she'll be missed because all the comments that are coming up after her death seems to be in the positive direction. She's actually an icon. There's no doubt about it. And people die and we mourn. Others we celebrate. I think hers is that of celebration.
Yeah. You know, apparently her death was preceded by that of the husband. The husband died last year. He's called Carl Thomas Dean. He died in March 2025. And just the following year, she's also passed. She passed at 80.
80, yeah.
Apparently she suffered cancer.
That's what I heard also.
Apparently for a few months. And we're told that even on her sick bed, she said she still had a lot to prove, even at 80. You know, she's got such a melodious voice.
Yes.
But you know, off air, I was talking to Uncle C. Pratt about one of the songs that I really like, which is the Coat of Many Colors.
Yes.
And Uncle C. Pratt was giving me some very interesting analysis of the song, something I had never heard. You know, Uncle C. This is like your generation.
Look, she was certainly a huge figure.
Yeah.
In country music, you know. She won many Oscars and so on. So if that is the assessment, she was quite a huge figure.
Yeah.
Her financial state was staggering. She died a multi-millionaire even after having donated most of her wealth and so on. She was also a prolific composer of music. I mean, there's one day in which she actually composed 2 songs which became hits and so on. But she was so unlike other musicians. Like, she was so unlike Jimi Hendrix, you know, James Brown, and others, you know, who challenged the establishment. Dolly Parton was an establishment figure. You know, she did not see the need to change the existing social and economic relations in the world. I mean, she accepted it. But one of her most popular songs, you know, A Coat of Many Colors, a lot of people love it, you know, and so on. I listen to it, the lyrics are interesting, the rhythm is fine and so on. But the political and ideological content is extremely worrying. You know, this a woman who says, no, she's poor, her family is poor, but she's rich at the same time because her grandmother sold her a coat of many colors. That in that coat of many colors, there's love, and love is riches. Well, love doesn't pay the medical bill, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Love doesn't buy food in the supermarket.
Sure.
Love doesn't provide social housing. And so love is essential. It's an essential ingredient in human activity.
Yeah.
But it doesn't resolve the economic imbalance and so on. So essentially, she was an establishment person. Not surprising. Many of the tributes that have come, you know, after her death have come from the establishment. With Donald Trump leading the charge and declaring, I think, 1 week of national mourning and so on. So her politics, her understanding of the world and so on, is a totally different matter. The beauty of her songs, her ability to write many songs and so on, is admired and all. So that's Dolly Parton. What else can I say?
Yeah. All right. May the souls of the departed rest in peace. I like her songs. I mean, you know, I hadn't really paid attention to the socio-political context for the Coat of Many Colors until Uncle C brought that to our attention. I don't think many have done so. You know, they just listen to the music. You know, and I think it's the thing about, it's not everybody who really sits down to analyze the
There's
content.
an attraction. The song has an attraction.
Exactly.
The song has an attraction because it's the lamentation of a poor girl.
Right.
You understand? And people can identify with it. But it doesn't provide a solution.
True.
It's just lamentation. I'm very poor. My classmates used to laugh at me and so on.
Yeah.
But in spite of all of that, my grandmother made a very beautiful coat of many colors for me. And in that coat, there's love.
Yes.
And therefore, I'm content with the love.
Yeah.
It doesn't solve the problem.
It doesn't.
Just lamentations of a poor girl.
Yeah.
And that is perhaps one of the reasons why it's so very popular. So very popular because it touches people deeply.
True.
It touches poor people and so on. Yeah. But it doesn't liberate them. In fact, it tells them that you can still be poor and rich.
Yeah.
which
you can still be poor and rich at the same time. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to happen, unless you maybe are spiritually rich. But when it comes to money, you don't have anything. Anyway, so, Collins.
Yes, my brother.
It appears that a lot is happening with your national elections. Ejaku has filed, Afoko has filed, Ejaku files,
today
for MPP chairs. I need to
today.
confirm. He filed today. He's filing today. Okay, Afoko filed him. Must have been yesterday. Yeah. And I'm told Wontumi has backed off because Palgrave initially said he was going to pay the form on his behalf. And I've also seen some stories where some group of people who say that they are Chairman Wontumi's followers have actually thrown their support behind Ejaku. And Afoko too has been talking about his main focus, which is to help Bawumia become president and also to unite the MPP. I haven't heard much from, and that's just me, I haven't said he's not doing much, I said I haven't heard much from the former General Secretary, John Boadu. So I can't say much about what exactly his message is. And so those of you who are followers of John Boadu, if you have any message that you want, you can send it to me. Let me know what exactly his focus of his message is. So it appears that, and it's in September, isn't it? It's September. October. Oh, it's in October.
Okay. It was rescheduled to October 3rd.
Right. I mean, how crucial is this national chair elections? Indeed, somebody was telling me yesterday, I was somewhere, the person was telling me, no, actually, somebody visited me yesterday. It's a very top MPP person. And the person was telling me that, look, people, you're joking. Wontumi would have become the national chairman of the MPP. And I said, what? He said, take it from me. The guy was on his way to become the national chairman of the MPP. I was shocked. And I said, but if he becomes the national chairman of the MPP, what would that say about the intellectual, image that the MPP has always tried to build around itself? And he said, oh, well, the landscape has changed, But let me just read the story, and then you can tell me how important the October thing is, because almost all the papers are talking about it. Let me just look at this one. The NDCs is also here. Osampofu, Guzitano, and all of that. All right, so this one. So I look at this and that of the Accra Times, because Accra Times is also looked at that of their focus story. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. So it's on page 3, the Ghanaian publisher. So we're told that Boakye Tremantin Ejaku will formally file his nomination to contest the national chairmanship of the New Patriotic Party today at the party's national headquarters, signaling a major step in his campaign to lead the party ahead of the 2028 elections. In a show of grassroots support, more than 50 MPP constituency chairpersons purchased and presented his nomination forms. Ejaku described the gesture not merely as an endorsement, but as an instruction from the grassroots to lead what he calls a total restoration of the party. Mr. Ejaku is campaigning on a platform of unity, discipline, grassroots mobilization, organization reforms, and the rebuilding of the MPP following its defeat in the 2024 general election. Drawing on 22 years of global institutional leadership, including his experience as a vice president at the Bank of New York, he has also highlighted his political experience within the MPP. His roles have included chairman of the Dankwa Buzia Club of North America, and it goes on and on and on and on. Addressing party supporters and stakeholders during his campaign engagement across the country, Ejaku said the NP needs leadership that can bring together its factions, restore confidence among members, and strengthen the party's organizational structures. He has repeatedly stated that his ultimate objective is to build a stronger electoral organization capable of supporting the party's presidential candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to secure victory in the 2028 general election. And there was also something about Mr. Paul Afoko. I saw it in one of the papers. Good. So Afoko says, I'll work with Bawumia to win 2028. So he picked his form yesterday. And it says that the story is by Richard Ousu Echao, who says the former national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Paul Awentami Afoko, has pledged to work with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the party's flag bearer, to reunite and reorganize the party into positioning it for return to power in 2028. Mr. Afoko made the pledge yesterday when he submitted his nomination forms to contest the NPP national chairmanship election at the party's headquarters at Asalam Down in Accra, launching his campaign around the theme, Reunite, Reorganize, Recapture. Mr. Afoko said the party needed to heal from internal division, strengthen its structures, and restore confidence among its members ahead of the 2028 general election. He said his decision to once again seek the chairmanship of the party followed months of consultation with party elders, regional and constituency executives, polling station officers, communicators, women, youth members of parliament, the youth and members of parliament, former executives and ordinary party members. According to him, those engagements had revealed a common desire among members for a united and better organized NPP. Are they saying the right things? First of all, how important is the NGN? And when you monitor some of the things that the aspirants are saying, are they the kinds of things that you believe delegates like you want to hear?
Well, let me say good morning to yourself again and our viewers and Frequency.
Right.
It's been a while. I've been missing in action.
Yep.
Time. It's good to be back. And with your permission, this Sunday, my party at the constituency level,
okay,
we'll also have our Thanksgiving service.
Okay.
After our internal elections at the constituency. It's this Sunday at 8 a.m. at the Ahinkro Methodist Church.
Okay.
The party will come together, both current and former constituency executives,
right,
Council of Elders, patrons, and the general membership of the party.
Okay.
Will meet to say thanks to God for the peaceful nature with which we conducted our internal elections at the constituency level. So I take the opportunity to invite colleagues and friends to join me on Sunday. You may recall, and we've had this discussion here, that the party began a certain restructuring and rebuilding process. It's started with the amendment to our constitution at Legon a few months ago. And then we tweaked the process a little bit and had our presidential elections early, which is not the norm. Normally, that would be the last thing that we do. But we tweaked it a little bit to have our presidential elections done earlier for good reasons. And I think over the period, it's proved to be a very sensible decision that was taken at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right after that, we zoomed into the polling station level. We completed our polling station elections.
Okay.
And then we did our coordinators elections. From there, we had our constituency elections. And just last week or last 2 weeks, we held our regional elections. The next stage is the national offices, which is what will take place on the 3rd of October. Earlier, it was slated for somewhere in September, but it had to be postponed due to some unforeseen reasons. And so we will have that on October 3rd, also in Kumasi.
Okay.
The party has decided to hold the Congress or the conference in Kumasi to elect our national officers. Significantly, some of the old officers are contesting for re-election. Others are moving up the ladder. Others, we are also going to see very new faces altogether, especially for the chairmanship,
right,
where the sitting chairman is not seeking re-election. And I'm told the acting chairman now, Mr. Bute, is also not seeking re-election.
Okay.
And so the chairmanship position is going to be a new face. When I say new face, I mean a new chairman altogether. Although Mr. Paul Afoko, who was once a national chairman,
right,
is seeking a comeback as a chairman. And then Mr. John Boedu, who used to be the organizer, the youth organizer, the national organizer of the party, also seeking to be the chairman of the party now. That is going to
at some point the general secretary.
At some point, the general secretary. So it's going to be an interesting contest, but it's quite significant because they are going to lead the charge for the party in terms of the organization of the party.
Right.
You know, the flag bearer always rides on the strength of the party to contest. So you need a very strong party to assist the flag bearer to win the national election. So it's a very significant process that is going to take place on the 3rd. I was surprised you said you've not heard Mr. John Boydu.
I've not heard a lot of
I've seen him all over the place,
Right.
campaigning, talking to delegates, just as the others are doing. Mr. Boache Jakun, I've seen also moving around and talking to delegates. Paul Afoko has done the same. He has visited my constituency and spoken to my constituents. And I know others are also doing the same. I've seen the General Secretary, the current General Secretary, Justin Kodia, has also filed to contest for re-election. And his contest is also going to be an interesting one because we have some new faces also joining the fray. I know my senior colleague, one senior colleague in Parliament, Mr. Boache MP, who is a very, very notable face on Good Morning Ghana. He's contesting, and then a few others. So it's going to be a very interesting contest. The youth organizer position is, for me, one of the areas that is going to be very, very interesting. As you know, the dynamics and demographics have changed.
Right.
And if you really, really want to make an impact in the next election, you cannot leave the youth behind. They form a very huge chunk of the population now. And so you need a youth leader who is charismatic, who appeals to the youth, who is vocal, who can express himself very well. And I think it's going to be an interesting contest. The women organizer position, Madam Hawa Kumsin is contesting, and then a few others are also joining. I know Perpetual is also joining. So it's going to be an interesting contest. What I'm very clear in my mind is the way we've conducted ourselves so far. I mean, if you witness the regional elections, this is one of the elections that I've seen has gone on so smoothly without any hitch. And I'm sure journalists like you, sometimes you move around to look out for the bad issues to become news. Unfortunately, you didn't get one.
Sensationalizing.
Yes, it was so smooth. We've had very, very interesting results at the regional level. In Ashanti region, it's now being headed by Kuka. Our own brother and friend, my senior Odadie, Doc Okoboy, is now leading the charge in Greater Accra. It's quite interesting. Jeff has still maintained his position in the eastern region. So, by and large, the processes so far has been smooth, and I do not anticipate anything different from the national level. Of course, any election comes with the heat, the general heat and rhetoric here and there. But I've observed the language of all the aspirants. It's been very, very, very tolerant. Everybody has been very tolerant of each other, very respectful of each other. You hardly hear people intentionally, denigrating or insulting each other. And I think the party has grown so well in that aspect. And I'm so excited with the way the party is trying to reposition itself to the Ghanaian public. And so for anybody who acts on the street or any political watch, I will tell you that the party has conducted itself so well, at least with our internal elections. And I'm sure if you're able to cross this hurdle in October, the next big hurdle will be the parliamentary primaries, which I suspect is going to take place from next year. It is my hope that that is also going to be smooth. Once that is done, then it means the party has concluded all its internal elections, and we are ready to send our message to the Ghanaian people and hope that they will be favorable to us this time around. It's going to be a tough battle that I'm sure of, but once we are able to put our house together, I think the NPP is still a very formidable political party that can easily wrestle power from the NDC.
Now, speaking about the parliamentary primaries, I've seen this, I want to call it an edict from Kuka, or the newly elected regional chairman, where he's actually appealing to party supporters to stop this incoming MP tag, and that it is undermining the authority of some of you who are sitting MPs. And I'm wondering how.
Well, currently our numbers in Parliament is quite small.
Yes.
86, 87 people. And our duty is to be in the chamber and to argue our case out. So, for instance, if I'm in the chamber, fighting very hard to expose our views as a party, and then you have somebody in my constituency talking to my delegates, essentially to tell them that the Collins is not doing a good job, so please vote him out. I think that's the advice he's giving.
Okay.
His point is that he's not saying members should go unopposed or nobody should contest members.
Okay.
But he feels that at this particular point in time, when nominations have not been open, when there's no timetable for primaries, we should allow the members of Parliament to concentrate on the work that they've been given to do in the House, rather than making it difficult for them to stay in the House. Because, of course, if I always have somebody at my backyard trying to unseat me, what it means is that I have to skip the parliamentary proceedings to protect my seat. And his admonition is that we should give time for the members of Parliament to have some peace to work, and that when the floodgates are opened for people to pick forms or nominate or to get themselves ready to contest, I think that time will be right for people to contest. For now, he thinks that let's bring some discipline within the space and allow people to do their work as they're supposed to do, whilst we wait for the appropriate time for the contest to come on. I think that was what he was he was preaching, and which I don't have any problem with that at all.
But does your party's constitution support this?
The party's constitution supports that members of Parliament should have some peace of mind. There's nothing wrong with that. The party's position is that there will be a time for elections, just as we're having a time for the national elections. Nominations were open, people pick form. There's an opportunity for you to go and meet your delegate and campaign. But I must say that some time back, these rules were flouted. I know of people who go to constituencies to undermine their members of Parliament. But as I said, we are rebuilding the party. We want to reshape it to the Ghanaian people. And I think discipline is one of the things that must be instilled in the party. Yeah. And I've heard almost all the national officers are preaching that one of the things that they think should be done very strongly is to bring some sanity within the space. And I'm all for that.
And with the Director of Communications contest, my very good friend Gordon Asare-Bediako, he stepped down.
Yes.
And it says just for the sake of the unity of the party. And so that leaves Dennis Miracles alone, isn't it?
I think I saw when the election committee released the list of those who picked the form.
Yes.
There was one other person who had picked the form, but to be very frank with you, I don't know the person.
That person.
Yes, I mean, I know Dennis Miracle, and between the two, I think Dennis stands.
I'm going to bring in Uncle C now, but a very senior member of your party has just sent me a message, and he was wondering why we didn't mention Sammy Crab. It's true. He's also contesting the national chairmanship.
Yes, that's true.
It escaped all of us.
Yes. No, it didn't escape me. I just responded to your point about John Boyd.
I'm not seeing much.
Yeah. So Sammy Crab is
media presence,
a very senior member of the party.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the first vice chair, isn't he?
Yes. I've known him for some time, not on a personal level, but I've known him as a party activist and a very strong party person. I think he's contested the chairmanship before.
If
my mind
he has.
serves me right. I think he has contested before.
He has.
And let's see what the delegates would say with his contest. But of course, in any contest, you know the front runners. I mean, people get to know the names and all that. But you never know. There can be surprises.
Obviously, there's something that keeps coming up, and I'm sure you have condemned this several times. This tribalism, regionalism. I mean, for instance, if you listen to some people who are not in favor of Paul Afoko, the only reason they will tell you is that we don't want a northern flag bearer, a northern chairman. And it surprises me why we're still thinking like this in this day and age. Look, listen to the person's message. Listen to what the person can do. Look at the person's track record and
that,
take a
that,
decision.
that kind of
Yeah.
before it comes to Angus, that kind of campaign, I don't think it's a wise one.
And you know, interesting is in both parties.
The MP, yes, of course.
Yes.
The MPP has seen a southern flag bearer and a southern chairman before. I don't think it's anything that it's surprising. I mean, we should allow them to campaign and send their message. As I said, by 3rd of October,
we'll get
latest by 4th in the morning, you'll get to know who's going to lead our party as the chairman and his other executive. Yeah.
All right. Uncle Z.
Well, I mean, the first important thing to say is that the most important election in the New Patriotic Party has already taken place.
Which is the flag bearer.
Exactly. That's the most important election. Indeed, these other elections will elect people who support that ticket. Okay. And their efforts will be seen more as complementing the efforts of the presidential candidate and so on. So the most important election has already taken place.
True.
The ticket, however, is not complete yet, because he needs to nominate the vice presidential candidate in order to be able to complete that ticket. Perhaps he's waiting for the outcome of these elections to determine how to, complete that ticket. No problem.
Yeah, actually, just a point, just an addition to that. I think the flag bearer will do so in consultation with the...
Oh, the chairman.
Yeah, with the council. And normally it's after the national election that all those arms are constituted. Yes.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's no problem. Yeah. The fact is that the most important election has already taken place. Now, you said, Moro, you said that the most prominent names in the contest for national chairman appears to be Paul Afoko and Boakye Ejiakor. Well, anybody who is making his judgment on the basis of newspaper articles and media exposure and so on can easily come to that conclusion.
Absolutely.
But you see, elections are not just about what the media is highlighting.
I agree.
I mean, the media doesn't vote, you understand? But you're right. I mean, if you're reading the media and so on, it is obvious that the two strongest contestants appear to be Boakye Ejiakor and Paul Afoko. Now, Boakye Ejiakor comes with many, many interesting attributes. He's a very respected person. He's cut his teeth in this political struggle. I remember the mid-1980s, way up to the decision to open up the space for bourgeois democratic contest. And so it was very key in the campaign for constitutionalism. He was then based in New York. I think he was president of a bank in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I remember actually visiting...
Actually, New York.
New York.
Yes.
Well, I studied in New Jersey.
New Jersey, okay.
And he played a very key part, Even he was on the periphery of the efforts to form the Movement for Freedom and Justice and was very, very closely associated with the Edubuahine campaign and so on. So he's an old and trusted hand, What he brings to the contest is a certain independent-mindedness of a team player, and that's complex. You have an independent-minded person who also aspires to be a team player. It's complex, you understand? Mr. Paul Afoko has won that position before and was kicked out largely as a result of political machinations of persons who thought that the then flag bearer of the party needed unalloyed, support, and that he should not be questioned on anything. They wanted him to be a king.
For support and loyalty. Yeah.
They wanted him to be a king rather than a presidential candidate. And in the process, Mr. Paul Afoko and others were sacrificed. As a matter of fact, if you look at the candidature of Mr. Sammy Crab, if he hadn't been reiterated here this morning, It had escaped my mind completely.
Same here.
You know. But again, I think that may be the result of the media hype of the candidates and so on. There's something very significant which I've noticed this morning, and it is from the newspaper headlines that we read. The suggestion that in Chairman Intri Busiaku want to meet supporters are rallying behind Ejaku. If that is true, that's a very significant development.
How so?
Because, you know, whether you like it or not, Chairman Wontumi had some base in the party. I mean, I was really surprised when the former chairman of the party, Freddie Blay, actually threw his weight behind Wontumi. Sure. I mean, I was shocked. You know, I was wondering, how come? And so on. But that's the reality, okay? And he seems to have some influence. Whether that influence could have made him chairman or not, I can't tell. But he has some influence. So given Ejaku's own base, if the Wontumi base adds to Ejaku's base, it becomes very formidable, perhaps unassailable. Okay? So it's beginning to look to me that Boakye Ejaku is in a lead position. Okay.
I get that point, respectfully, but yes. I just thought I should add that I've seen other supporters of Wontumi on video. I think the Wontumi coordinator for the Bono area, who also declared his support for John Boyd when John Boyd visited the region.
Oh, okay.
So there's been a split.
Yeah. But I'm not talking about one person. I'm talking about the machine.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I've seen a split.
This is a different groups
within the
Wontumi base or camp.
I've moved here.
I know what I'm talking about.
All right.
I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You understand? I clearly know what I'm talking about. But you see, what does the New Patriotic Party need now? What the New Patriotic Party needs now is a group of leaders who would articulate an alternative to the NDC's program and who can demonstrate that if the New Patriotic Party manages to improve its chances, and right now the New Patriotic Party is in a very precarious situation, but it needs to prove that if it can change this situation, it can affect the lives of Ghanaians. We are talking here essentially about access to social services. We're talking about national infrastructure and so on. That's what the people of Ghana are looking for. You understand? And who best in this competition can do that? Is it Paul Afoko or is it Boakye Ejaku? Who can take hold of the party machinery and demonstrate that if this party were ever to gain power again, it will be able to address the housing needs of the population. It has a better program for increasing access to social services like education and health and so on. Who, in these circumstances, can come up and say that, look, our performance in the economy was not the best. But if we were to alter policy, we can achieve results which are better than the NDC. We can stabilize the city, we can lower inflation, and we can make that meaningful to the lives of people. Because, mind you, look, the workers of this country, they don't eat GDP. Okay? They don't eat inflation and so on. So inflation, GDP, and so on must be relevant to their standard of living. So if you have somebody in the New Patriotic Party, a leadership which can come and argue that yes, the NDC has done well, these figures are impressive and so on, but then we need to go a step further by making these figures relevant to the lives of the people and so on, and can sustain this argument with demonstrable, statistics, with demonstrable plans and so on, then the party will be in a better position than it is today. The question is the NPP going to get a leadership which will move away from the pedestrian posture that we are seeing today? Because some of the posture is very pedestrian. and I can expand if you want me. Some of the posture is very, very pedestrian.
I would want you to expand on the pedestrian posture after this break, I beg you. The pedestrian posture is extremely important. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Let's take this break.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, First Ghana Colorectal Center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel-Kids Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel-Kids, happy smile.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
Me didn't tum. Miss your friend Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, miss your friend me once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Miss your friend is sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Come on, Tom Preco.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPack.
EduPack?
Yes, EduPack. A GS-approved and supported initiative for all first-year students going to SHS. Buy Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.eduparkgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPark, approved and supported by GES.
From the grandest stage, the badges change, but the passion remains. It's a special goal.
What a story this is. 10 months of drama lie ahead. The stage is set.
The biggest stars from the world's biggest leagues on SuperSport. It's on DSTV.
I could be in my coat of many colors Mama made for me. So with patches on my breeches, holes in both my shoes, in my coat of many colors, I hurried off to school just to find the others laughing and making fun of me and my coat of many colors that Mama made for me. No, I couldn't understand that, 'cause I thought I was rich. And then I told him of the love my mama sewed in every stitch. And then I told him all the story that Mama told me while she sewed, and why my coat of many colors was worth more than all their clothes.
Right. So you're still watching Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro. I'm still here with Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr. We affectionately call him Uncle Kwesi. He's a former managing editor of the Inside newspaper and also a veteran and seasoned journalist. And also here with us, Honorable Collins Adomako Mensah is an honorable member of parliament for the people of the Efija Kwabra North constituency, also a former deputy energy minister. Uncle Kwesi, pedestrian posture. What is it?
Well, I'm not going to elaborate on this point.
Right.
All I have to say is that you have a political party which is promising to do worse than what it is condemning today. And that's frightening. I'll give you one example.
Okay.
You have the minority leader of parliament actually addressing the media and threatening that a number of personalities in the National Democratic Congress may face arrest and prosecution if they win power in 2028. And he goes on to threaten that their bail conditions will be bigger than the GDP of the country. Master, if this is not pedestrian, what is? You understand? This is a party which now is campaigning against what it describes as, skewed arrests of party activists and so on. That is his complaint. He says it's bad. But he says that when we come, we'll do the same. It is complaining about what it considers to be unfair bail conditions and threatens that when we come, there's one person we are going to catch. And his bail condition will be bigger than the GDP of the country. What is this? It's either bad or it's good. And if it's bad, why do you want to do worse? And so on. So the messaging is problematic, right. I mean, I've seen the minority leader in debates in parliament, virtually saying that, if you look after us well, we'll also look after you well when we assume power and so on. I mean, these messages, wow.
But these things excite the base. It energizes the base to work harder for the party.
But it doesn't give hope to the country. It doesn't show that we can expect better. You understand? It doesn't show that we want to establish traditions which promote democracy and which promote, the advancement in our people's lives and so on. It doesn't show that. So you need now new messaging. You understand? I've spoken, I think, once or twice about this leading communicator of the party, who is actually addressing party communicators. And he's saying that, look, as far as the NPP is concerned, facts don't matter. He says facts don't matter.
But what does?
He says that, look, Parliament is a house of records. So if you go to Parliament, you deal with facts and so on. But if you come to Asylum Down, NPP headquarters, facts don't matter. And that what matters is propaganda. Okay?
I know.
Now, listen, I'm watching this clip, and I'm saying, what? This guy is seriously out of line. So I'm expecting the reaction from the communicators, which would suggest that they are not happy with what he's saying. What? The applause is loud, which indicates what? An endorsement of that position, that facts don't matter. So if you have a party which is in opposition, which has such low numbers in Parliament, and whose record in government is problematic and so on, and you have some of its leaders openly telling us that facts don't matter and so on, there's a problem here. You understand? So I'm saying that you need a new leadership which will change this direction, which will change this narrative, and which will provide a narrative that is positive and mobilizing.
But the party has a flag bearer.
And the flag bearer...
Primus inter pares.
Yeah. But if the flag bearer was sufficient, why then elect other officers? The party itself recognizes that the flag bearer alone is not sufficient. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's why others are elected. And you see, you can have a very good flag bearer who is saying the right things, who is giving hope to the population and so on. His message can be destroyed by others in his team. Because then the people are left to choose, which of the messages should I choose? That of the flag bearer or his running mate? That of the running mate or the national chairman of the party and so on.
No, because why should that be a difficult choice? I mean, we vote for the flag bearer. We don't vote for the national chairman.
We vote for the flag bearer contesting elections on the ticket of a political party. There ought to be, some merging of views, and so on. If it's not there, it creates confusion.
Yeah.
If it's not there, it certainly creates a lot of confusion and so on. Now, my brother Collins made an assertion. I wanted to let it go, but perhaps I should just raise it, that the outcome of these elections have proven that the choice they made in electing the presidential candidate first was a good one. How does this prove it? It doesn't. I mean, where is the evidence? Where is the empirical evidence that it proves anything?
But he says the elections has been largely peaceful. Whereas if they hadn't chosen the flag bearer first.
You see, my brother, hold on. He comes from the Ashanti region.
Yes.
Okay, and he should know better than me. I'm listening to radio, and I hear a student, a female student, who is offering herself as a parliamentary candidate in one of the constituencies in Kumasi.
Yeah.
On the ticket of the base.
Yes.
What does that tell you? You want me to bring out more? What does that tell you? Okay?
Yeah.
Huh? So please, don't go there.
Okay.
If you want to go there, we can come
go there.
and discuss. Okay. But there are still many problems. There are still many problems.
Right.
For example, I've heard people in the party who have argued that the best choice of a running mate would be Brian Achampong. And they indicate his performance in the last elections as one.
Okay.
They look at what they call his resourcefulness, that he's a very resourceful person. They look at his age and so on. I'm sure you've all heard. But then the argument is made that he may not be chosen as the flag bearer because the presidential candidate may not be too relaxed with him for various reasons that all of you know, and so on. That's a problem. That's a problem. If you look at the outcome of the regional elections, we had my good friend Dr. Okubo elected as the Greater Accra Regional Chairperson. But you know that in the campaign, a candidate emerged who said that he was closer to Dr. Bawumia, he supported Dr. Bawumia and so forth, and that was his qualification for contesting the elections. It creates its own dynamics and so on. You know that, okay? Now, if you take the Eastern region, I have no doubt that the chairman who has been elected may eventually support Dr. Bawumia and give him all his strength and everything. It is possible, and I'm not going to doubt that. But the fact of the matter is that he was a keen supporter of Brian Acheampong.
Yeah.
Okay? And there is some speculation as to what the dynamics that led to his elections are, and so on. If you take the Ashanti region, similar questions have been raised, and so on. But look, even if this were clearly discernible differences, differences can always be overcome. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Even if there were clearly discernible differences, they may still be overcome. But in analysis, you ought to bring them up.
Right.
And if you bring them up, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that anybody can provide any empirical evidence to suggest that if elections at the grassroots up to the regional level had been held before the presidential elections, the outcomes would have been the same. There's no empirical evidence to suggest that. You understand? But look, democracy or bourgeois democracy thrives on the strength of the political parties. And anybody who wants this bourgeois democratic experiment to succeed would not wish that any of the political parties is completely annihilated, you know. So those who believe in this dispensation believe that you need a strong New Patriotic Party, you need a strong Convention People's Party, and you need a strong National Democratic Congress. Let's wish them strength.
Collins, let's please wrap it up. Or you don't have anything
no,
else?
of course,
So
there's a few comments on Jeff, and Ankwesi chose his words very carefully.
Yeah.
That he hopes that Jeff may support Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I've listened to Jeff right after the elections. He was very, very categorical that at this particular point in time, he represents the New Patriotic Party as its Eastern Regional Chairman. We have a candidate in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It doesn't matter who he supported during the presidential primaries. He's very clear in his mind, and I've listened to him. He's spoken on major radio stations. He's very clear in his mind. His focus now is to ensure that our candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, becomes the president of Ghana come 2028. So, Ankwesi, I can assure you, it's not the main issue. He is fully in support of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And I've heard all the other elected candidates who emerged winners during the regional elections pledge their unflinching support to the candidate. I've seen some of them come all the way to Accra with their entourage, all the executives, to assure the presidential candidate that the primaries are over. The presidential primaries is over. Who one supported or did not support does not matter at this particular point in time. Indeed, if you're a true Democrat, once the elections are over, they are over. The majority of the people supported Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Bawumia won 14 out of the 16 regions.
Yeah.
I don't think that is any indication, statistically, of a division. It's clear who the majority of the people support. And so any candidate who won the regional elections, I'm sure will pledge their support. And they've done so. I've listened to them. I'm going to talk about, we should forget about facts, to be very frank with you. I don't know who said that. I've not.
You have a play.
I'm saying that to be very frank with you. No,
Play.
I'm not doubting you, Angosi.
No, he's not doubting you.
I'm saying that I've not heard it.
No, he's not doubting you.
I know he's not
what
doubting
you said is true. It's a matter of fact.
Who said
he's
so?
not doubting you.
I don't have any problem.
Play it so that you can see.
Right, if you have the tape, if you have the tape, please play it.
Let me finish my point.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Any party officer who made this statement, the person is wrong.
Yeah.
It's totally wrong. You can't say that the party we belong to do not believe in facts. That's wrong. I'm here as a party communicator. I'm speaking on facts.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking on conjecturing or making any other arguments. On facts. How can you win an argument in the public space with propaganda and without facts? So I'm saying that any person who made that statement, whether it's my friend or not, I don't know the person, but that is wrong.
So play it so you know the person.
No, he's referring to the former MP.
Let me.
You're referring to the former MP, yeah?
If you play it,
Which
you
former
know the
MP?
person.
English amount from Sylvester.
I am saying it is wrong. That's the point I'm making.
Right.
It is wrong for
It's
anybody.
not an MPP
Collins.
position.
No, that cannot be an MPP position.
Honorable member of parliament.
Yes.
I'm only being helpful.
Yes.
You don't know the person. Fine. If they play it,
He
you
has
will
just
know the
mentioned
person.
it. I'm saying that, Angosi, the point I'm making is that that point cannot be an MPP position.
Yes, I agree.
The party I belong to,
get the point
our ideological inclination and everything does not support propaganda. That's the point I'm making. So if anybody of my party made that statement, I am saying I'm here as a communicator for the party. It is not the position of the party. It is wrong. You can't say that we are going to argue on propaganda and not fact. That is wrong. So I condemn it if the person says so. But I'm trying to assuage your fears that our party is not a party of propaganda. We are a party of facts. That is why I'm here with you, Angosi. I've spent 6 years with you. If I'm not, I'm a propagandist, I'm sure you would have requested that I move from here. I spoke with facts.
I don't have that power.
Oh no, Angosi, you wouldn't even be comfortable with somebody who just speaks propaganda without facts. But I'm saying that, Angosi, listeners, viewers, please calm down. There's nothing truthful about this point that our party is a party of propaganda. We are not a party of propaganda. We are a party that believes in facts, and that is why we argue on the basis of fact. Angus, let me assuage your fears on that. So that must be an individual position, and that is not the position of the party, Angus.
Right.
That cannot be the position of the party.
It's Sylvester Tete. He said the party spends too much time trying to put out facts. This job, put out the propaganda, and you get the people to... I get it. It's not an MPP position.
Absolutely.
I get it.
And
It's
I
an
don't even know the
individual
circumstances
My
with which
friend,
he made that statement.
He's aspiring to become the general secretary.
I don't have any issue with
Be
that.
careful. This is a guy who is speaking to party communicators.
Yeah.
Did you hear the loud applause after he had said that?
Angosi, but
So why are you not just playing it? So that
Angosi, people stand on political platforms and make all kinds of statements, and they are cheers.
Yes, the cheers mean endorsement.
So, are you saying that? And then there are a lot of things that I've heard from key members of the opposition, the current government, on campaign platform that they were cheers. I'm not sure that's the party's position.
That's endorsement.
Oh,
cheering is endorsement. What else can cheering be?
Obviously, I'm saying that.
To be fair,
I'm
saying you're accusing me of unfairness.
No, since we fix the issues, not you.
Angosi, please, it is not the party's position.
Who is
the
aspiring to
party
become the general
is
secretary of
not.
the party, tells a group of people sitting somewhere and tells them that, look, you spend too much time on trying to put out facts, and that Ghanaians usually don't care about the facts. Put out a propaganda. It works. It's more effective. I don't think that it should be an MPP issue. This is Sylvester Mensah's opinion. I think.
You think so? And
I
you think that
is his opinion.
The people in the room, MPP communicators, were loudly applauding him, were uncomfortable with what he has said. The people in the room did not know that it was not the party position. What are you saying?
I am here representing the party,
I know.
I'm telling
Some
you,
other people too were representing the party.
I'm telling you,
yes, sir,
officially, that our party is not a party of propaganda. Take that from me, Angosi.
This is the first time I'm hearing anybody of substance in the party distancing himself or herself from that statement. The first time.
Then please take it. Our party is not a party of propaganda. That is a fact, Angosi.
Hey, how would I know? Do I know better than?
I'm telling you, Uncle
the former MP.
I'm telling you, we are a party of facts. Okay. We argue on facts.
So let's play the video now.
I don't have any problem. I'm just telling you.
So no, let's. Maybe we're wrong about Sylvester. Let's watch the video.
We're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. Putting fear in our men. They are arresting TikTokers, social media people, communicators. There are things our communicators are saying. If you are a general secretary, week after week, you must set the agenda for the MDC to come and defend. We are in a position. We don't need facts. We need to propagate. We need to propagate. 1.5 years in opposition. The party is in parliament. There's no problem. But in parliament, it's a house of records. And as someone down, it is not a place of records. It is a place of propaganda. So, if you speak as an opposition general secretary, national security must meet. Hello? Bloggers, this one is not for you, please. Putting fear in our men. They are arresting TikTokers, social media people, communicators. There are things our communicators are saying. If you are a general secretary, week after week, you must set the agenda for the MDC to come and defend. We are in a position. We don't need facts. We need to propagate. We need to propagate. 1.5 years in opposition. The party is in parliament. There's no problem. But in parliament, it's a house of records. And as someone down, it is not a place of records. It is a place of propaganda. So, if you speak as an opposition general secretary, national security must meet. Hello? Bloggers, this one is not for you, please.
All right, so we just heard from the horse's own mouth.
My position still remains the same.
All right.
My position remains the same.
That's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Well. I mean, look, I've listened to the Honorable Member of Parliament this morning.
Yes.
And he's impressive, you know, when it comes to defending the party line and so on. But I think that having been in politics for this length of time, the Honorable Member of Parliament knows better than I do that in politics, appearances are not everything. And that behind appearances sometimes lies the real substance.
True.
And I'll tell you a story. It's a friend of mine who contested parliamentary elections, you know, on the ticket of the Convention People's Party or so, you know, one of the constituencies in the Volta region. And the results were announced. And when the results were announced, his party had been very, very, very terribly defeated. His polling agent immediately pulled off his party T-shirt, and under that T-shirt was the NDC T-shirt, and they joined the jubilation. This should teach you a lesson in political analysis, you know. It should teach you a big lesson in political analysis. What you see is not always what it is. What you hear is not always what it ought to be. And this should guide you in your analysis. You know.
Okay. All right. I want us to look at Gold Board, Bank of Ghana, minority, and matters arising. The Ghanaian Times today is reporting that the minority leader has decided to sue Sammy Gyamfi for 15 million cedis over the extortionist claim. And then you also have the news center that's reporting that the MPP is backing Apoyom Akin over the 22 billion cedis Gold Board losses. And then the same news center says Parliament to probe 22 billion cedis gold losses, and that Bagbin has agreed that Parliament takes up the matter. So let me start with the Ghanaian Times. I'll just do two paragraphs of each. Malik Suleimana says minority leader in parliament Alexander Afenyo-Markin has sued the chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sammy Gyamfi, at the High Court in Accra, seeking 15 million cedis in damages for alleged defamation. Now, the suit follows comments made by Mr. Gyamfi during the discussion on the Bank of Ghana's reported $1.7 billion loss from gold purchases on Joy News Newsfile program on Saturday, August 22. Mr. Gyamfi, who was a panelist on the program, described Mr. Afenyo-Markin as an extortionist while responding to the minority leader's attribution of the reported loss to Gold Board. Mr. Gyamfi subsequently challenged Mr. Afenyo-Markin to sue him, saying he would provide evidence to substantiate his allegation. Well, he didn't say that exactly. He said he dares him to take him to court, and then went ahead to say that even if he likes, he can take Samson Ladi Ayereni, who is the host of the show, as his lawyer, and that he'll meet him in court. But he didn't say that he has evidence to prove what he said. In fact, Samson asked him, but he didn't say anything about that. But anyway, maybe you can infer. But the thing about it is that as a reporter, when you're reporting, you should report what is, not what you think should be. I think that the Ghanaian Times, you must be. Let's watch this. Now, in his statement of claim, Mr. Afenyo-Markin said he was not an extortionist and had never engaged in extortion or any conduct of the nature alleged by Mr. Gyamfi. He said the alleged defamatory statement had damaged his reputation as a legal practitioner and senior political figure whose professional and public standing was of considerable importance. Now, the plaintiff argues that describing a legal practitioner and a senior parliamentary figure as an extortionist was particularly grave and had exposed him to hatred, ridicule, contempt, and public disapprobation. Sorry about that. He further contended that the statement created a false impression that he used his public position and political influence to extort or improperly negotiate with public officials. According to the suit, the allegations had caused serious injury to his character, reputation, professional standing, and public image. He's seeking several reliefs jointly and severally against the Gyamfi, a multimedia group named as a second defendant. Among other things, he's asking the court to order the defendants to publish a full, unconditional, and unequivocal retraction of the alleged defamation statement and issue a public apology to him. That's with the Ghanaian Times. The News Center is also reporting on page 12 of its paper that the NPP is backing Afenyo-Markin over the 22 billion gold bond losses. Yesterday, the New Patriotic Party held a news conference that was addressed by the national organizer, that's Henry Nana Boakye, who's the, we call him Nana B affectionately. Now, the New Patriotic Party has thrown its full support behind the minority leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin and the minority caucus in their demand for a comprehensive parliamentary inquiry into the reported 22 billion losses associated with the Ghana Gold Board. The party said it will stand behind the minority for as long as necessary to ensure that all questions surrounding the reported losses are answered publicly and transparently. The NPP's position, announced by its national organizer Henry Nana Boakye at a press briefing in Accra on Tuesday, August 25, comes amid an escalating exchange of accusations between the minority and Gold Board Chief Executive Officer Sammy Gyamfi over the reported financial exposure and responsibility for it. Mr. Nana Boakye said there was no division within the NPP over the matter, stressing that the party fully endorses the minority's efforts to scrutinize Gold Board's transaction and demand accountability. And then finally, so still the News Center, and this is on page 6. Let me just end with this. We're told that Parliament has decided to probe the 22 billion gold loss. Now, Parliament is set to scrutinize the reported 1.7 billion cedis loss, equivalent to about 22 billion cedis associated with the Bank of Ghana domestic gold purchase program, with Speaker Alban Bagbin saying the inquiry should help establish whether the amount represents an actual financial loss or a policy cost. The Speaker's comments follow a motion filed by the Minority Caucus seeking a parliamentary inquiry into the transactions and the ceremony of Gold Board's Chief Executive Officer Sammy Gyamfi to explain the program and the reported financial exposure. Mr. Bagbin said the matter required parliamentary scrutiny to bring an end to competing claims over the nature and scale of the reported losses. According to him, Parliament must establish whether the $1.7 billion figure represents money genuinely lost or cost incurred by the state in pursuing the objectives of the domestic gold purchase program. He disclosed that the motion was received by the office on August 21, 2026, and that he had personally reviewed it before deciding to admit it for consideration. Now, with the motion they have filed, which was received in my office on 21st of August 2026, just 3 days ago, I have gone through the motion myself, and I intend to admit the motion because we have to at least have an end to litigation as to whether it's a loss or it's a cost. Collins, yes. Is this the way to go in dealing with this matter? Let's get to the bottom of it once and for all.
Well, my wish was that it wouldn't have gotten to this stage where there's personal descriptions of persons. That would have been my wish. I would have wished that would have been discussing the issues at stake, you know. But unfortunately, the whole thing has been crowded with this whole extortion matter. And extortion is a very strong word. Sami himself, my good friend, is a lawyer. Afenyo Markin is a lawyer, leader. Eric Ejay is a lawyer. And I believe they all understand the implications of referring to somebody as an extortionist. And if you look at the dictionary, it's just somebody trying very hard to obtain something from you illegally by using threats, violence, you know. So these are quite strong description to give to somebody, you know. So I'm not too surprised the route Afenyo has taken to, as it were, clear his name, basically, just to give an opportunity for the accusers and himself to appear before an arbiter, an independent person, for everybody to adduce their argument, for a conclusion to be made as to whether indeed he's an extortionist or if he has collected or obtained something violently through falsehood from Mr. Sammy Gyamfi. So my wish was that we shouldn't have gotten to this stage. Unfortunately, that's where we are now. And Mr. Afenyo Markin, our leader, has decided to as it were, clean his name in quotes from that tag. Don't forget that Mr. Afenyo Markin is just not any ordinary member of parliament. He is the minority leader. And so what happens to him has a reflection on the entire minority caucus. And so the minority's position is that we take this also very seriously. And we think that it's important that the leader, as it were, take steps to bring to bear a certain clarity on this particular matter. So on the side of the court case, that's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Now that it's in court, we all have to be careful how we comment on it. Right. Because as Ankwesi will always say, commenting on it in a certain way has its own implications. So I think we'll leave that to the court to take a decision. But I know Afenyo Markin on a personal level. I know him. And I think so far my knowledge of him is not somebody who do something to destroy the image of the party or the minority or the caucus that he leads. So I'm happy that he's gone to the independent avenue for some clarification on that. On the speaker accepting the motion, I think it's right for the speaker to accept so. I mean, we tried the first time, but it was shut down. This time around, the speaker says he's amenable to listen to the motion and to have the arguments from both sides for him to draw a conclusion. And, you know, Parliament is a house of records. It gives opportunity to those of us in Parliament to argue our case out and to, for me, come to a certain narrative, and which for me should be, how do we move away from the losses? I'm not too excited about the banter as to where it sits. A loss is a loss. Whether I sit with Gold Board or sit with the Bank of Ghana, it's a loss that the state must find a way to pay. It's a loss that the state must find its way to pay. So the motion will give an opportunity for both sides to have their arguments. And as the speaker puts it, the loss, whether it's an economic loss or what, use another word, we read
it. It's a policy cost.
So whether it's a policy cost or it's an
economic loss,
there's a loss. There is a loss. We have to find a way of either mitigating what constituted the loss or what promoted that loss. How do we mitigate that? are we expecting 2026 to have the same losses, or what do we do? These are things that I think we should be focusing our attention on going forward. So I'm not surprised the Speaker has admitted it, and I'm happy the Speaker has done so. In fact, I listened to Sami Gyamfi on Newsfile. It was quite clear that he was ready to face the parliamentary probe on these issues. And I'm happy the Speaker has accepted the motion, and let's see how it goes from there. There was one last point that you made that I think I should comment on. Or these were the two issues.
Yeah, that is
for the courts, as I said, once it's in the domain of the courts, we allow the court process to proceed. But as a minority, I think we are very clear in our mind about the loss. And we think that we shouldn't sweep away that loss argument into the realm of personalization. We think the country must really, really, really be focused on why we made these losses. How do we intend to ensure that we don't continue on that path? Because don't forget that in 2024, there were some losses. And the argument then was that, hey, this is the worst we've seen. You couldn't manage the system well. In fact, there was a demonstration about that. So for the losses to triple should be a concern to everybody. And if you read the IMF report, the IMF themselves are concerned, admonishing the Bank of Ghana to slow down its activities within that space because they cannot continue to record such figures in their books. The negative equity position is far, far beyond as they met it, which we all believe must have the way of turning it around. So the loss, we've established that there's a loss. How do we mitigate that going forward? That's what for me should be the focus.
Collins, one of the reasons why our audience like you very much, I know your constituents like you, that's a fact, our audience like you too, is because of the sublime nature and the candor with which you bring the issues to the table. Where occasionally when you disagree, just like you've done a while ago with Sylvester Mensah, say, look, it's not true. This is who we are as New Patriotic Party. Well, you didn't condemn him, nothing, but you just sort of set the record straight. And it's also because of your love for not just your party, but it's also for love for Ghana, and so on and so forth. Now, interestingly, this conversation we're having is actually preceded by a little, what I won't call it a banter, that's too strong a word, but some small give and take between you and Nkwesi Pratt about how do we communicate issues as a political party that would make that political party look good in the eyes of Ghanaians. And that statement or that, in discussion or conversation you have with Nkwesi Pratt actually stems or actually flows from the statement that Sylvester Mensah made about that, look, when you're in a position, sit somewhere, create something and put it out there, even if it's not factual. And you said, look, that's not what the New Patriotic Party stands for. At least the New Patriotic Party that you have been with, your parents, family, and everybody. So long and short is that you believe that when issues are being discussed, they must be discussed accurately and factually, devoid of propaganda, Earlier, you mentioned, you said, look, for you, whether the loss sits on the books of the Bank of Ghana, whether it sits on the books of Gold Board, for you is not really the main issue. There's a loss because at the end of the day, it's one Ghana. Okay, true. I believe if this conversation has started the way you started it, which is that, look, there's a loss. Let's deal with it. Rather than this is where the loss sits, and we keep insisting that this is where the loss sits, even against evidence that no, yes, there's a loss, but please, it's not here, it's there. I mean, how do you reconcile these two positions, which is that as New Patriotic Party, you believe in stating the facts and not propaganda. But now you have some of your colleagues who are still insisting, even when you show them the data that says that, look, yes, we have a problem, we need to deal with the problem, but let's deal with the problem factually. Which is that this is where the issue is, and how do we address it? You're right. That, look, we have a problem. We need to deal with the problem. We need to fight. We need to make sure it doesn't reoccur. I have been looking through the books of gold, but I've been looking through the books of the Bank of Ghana. It's quite clear to everybody that the thing actually sits on the Bank of Ghana's books. We read audited accounts of Gold Board, there's nothing like a loss. You can have issues about what the Gold Board describes as a profit because of the inflows and outflows, and so that's a separate debate. But fact of the matter is that it's a profit. How then do you reconcile a situation where a party that believes in dealing with facts then continues to insist that a state institution has made a loss, when indeed the facts that do not support it? How do you reconcile the two positions, Collins? It bothers me.
It shouldn't bother you, and I don't think we are speaking in prospect. So I've also listened to quite a number of my colleagues. Of course, I've read the statement from one that the minority leader read. If you read it, I think he acknowledged that there's a loss that the Bank of Ghana sits on the Bank of Ghana books.
That's
However,
also true, yes. He mentions that.
He believes that some activities of Gold Board contributed to that particular loss on the books of the Bank of Ghana. That also finds its expression in the IMF reports.
But guess what? You see the statement you're making? I beg you. You see the statement you're making? It's a shift in goalpost. Because the earlier comments that were made by some of your colleagues in Parliament was that we are then na utom gold no aboka.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. We are then na utom gold no aboka.
Yes.
And that Gold Board must answer how it occasioned that loss, how it incurred that loss. So not Bank of Ghana, also Gold Board.
Let me just read.
Do you get the point I'm trying to make?
Let me just read a portion.
Of course, subsequently, he came to the middle and said, well, you have done this, but you also contributed. Yeah, please go ahead.
But all that I've said is what you've reiterated. I'm saying that, yes, we all know where the losses sit in the books of the Bank of Ghana.
Right.
But some activities of Gold Board contributed to that. And the IMF report has made it clear. So if the minority says that Gold Board cannot totally take the profits and say, oh, this is what we've done, we've built, and then shift away as being part of the process that leads to some losses on the Bank of Ghana book, they cannot just take themselves out like that. But of course, I agree with you. On paper, everybody has the document.
Yeah.
The losses sit with Bank of Ghana. And let me read just, I think the December 2025 IMF, the 5th review.
Okay.
Losses from DGPP, which is the Domestic Gold Purchase Program,
yes,
and Gold Board's activities should not be borne by the central bank.
Okay.
Yes. So clearly, there's an aspect of it. But of course, it sits with the Bank of Ghana on the Bank of Ghana books. All we are saying is that let's sanitize that system. Whatever is going on that is leading to a $1.7 billion loss cannot be lost on us.
Okay.
This figure alone cannot be lost on us. The argument for me, or the discussion, should not be shifted to just an extortionist or extortion argument.
That I agree.
Absolutely.
That I agree.
To the extent that the IMF is even advising Bank of Ghana to as it were, put measures in place to ensure that their gold activities, purchase activities, should not continue. In fact, others are even saying that the Ministry of Finance should take that particular 1.7 billion loss and find a way into the national account, so that the Bank of Ghana books can be as clean as it is.
Okay.
We need to have this particular discussion going forward.
Okay.
That should not be lost on us. $1.7 billion loss is not chicken change.
All right.
Well, I mean, this accusations and counter-accusations have escalated now. And we are now at a point where the minority leader has sued for defamation.
Yes.
Of course, I'm guided by the principles of our jurisprudence, which say that we are stopped from commenting on cases before the courts, and that such comments could tend to be, judicial and so on. So I'm guided by those principles.
Right.
So what I would say at this moment is that the move initiated by the minority leader can cut both ways. If the courts hold that he has been defamed and takes measures to repair the damage done to him and so on, maybe it will be positive. On the other hand, if the court does not rule for him, he's finished. He's destroyed forever.
True.
You understand? And may not even be in a position to continue functioning as minority leader. True. His credibility would have been shattered completely. But be that as it may, he knew the risk he was taking when he went to court. You know, and he's a lawyer. I'm not the one to tell him whether he should have taken that risk or not. I note, on the other hand, that his accuser is very firm and confident. I've heard him in several discussions and so on. He says, I dare him to go to court. What does he have left you don't know? And I don't even want to know. It's for the court to know. Is it that he has something? What may he have? I don't know. The courts will determine that matter.
Right.
I've read the petition before the court. I'm not even too sure whether I should call it petition, but I've read it. And there's something which is most instructive.
Is it a writ?
The
writ has been filed at the High Court.
Yes. There's something which is most instructive. The minority leader goes to court and he says, I'm not just suing Sami JP, I'm also suing Joy.
The media platforms, both Peace FM and Joy.
Yeah, I'm suing them. And then, in his own writ, he says that the Joy presenter actually challenged Sami JP and disassociated the station from the statement that Sami JP was making and so on.
So why sue them?
So why sue Joy? What is the trick? I don't know. It's maybe my illiteracy in law which is killing me. But I can't understand.
Yeah.
You've taken somebody to court for defamation who you claim was defending your image and saying that the allegations against you have not been proven. Massa, I don't understand.
It's difficult to reconcile
it's difficult. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But I think I better stop here before I get into trouble.
Contempt of court.
Because I don't want to get into trouble. So I will stop here. But very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange rate. It's okay, let me stop here and move on.
Okay.
You see, I have in my hands. And this was given to me by Moro.
I've been studying it.
Yeah, Moro gave it to me.
And Moro didn't give me one.
Don't worry.
There's only one. I only have one. I gave it to you. Know, he's a senior.
I've looked through it. These are the financial statements of the Gold Board. And I've carefully looked through it. And there's no loss indicated in the books of the Gold Board. No loss at all. Okay? Indeed, everything here is positive. Everything that I've seen is positive. For example, if you look at revenue position, it says total revenue for the year amounted to 5.5 billion, more than 5.5 billion, comprising non-tax revenue of 970 million in excess, government grant in excess of actually 4 billion, finance income in excess of 35 million, and so on and so on. So everything in the books is positive. You understand? Yeah. There's no loss here. So that's clear. Okay. Then we are told that it is the International Monetary Fund which is insisting that some loss occurred.
Okay.
I have with me what is titled Lessons from the Bank of Ghana's Domestic Gold Purchase Program, authored by the International Monetary Fund.
Yes, sir.
August.
Yeah, it's authored by the International Monetary Fund, dated August 2026. And it says, Selected Issues Paper. This is IMF. This is not Gold Board. This is the International Monetary Fund.
Right.
And the International Monetary Fund itself summarizes its findings in one paragraph.
Right.
Very interesting paragraph. This is how the paragraph reads. It's from this same write-up. Here. And this is how it reads. It says, this paper examines the legacy of the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchases program, which helped formalize artisanal gold exports, rebuild reserves, and support foreign exchange market stabilization during Ghana's debt crisis. This is the IMF, which is being quoted as saying there's a loss. The program scaled rapidly, making gold-related flows central to reserve accumulation and FX sales. This is the bank. This is the International Monetary Fund, but also generated sizable losses for the Bank of Ghana and exposed quasi-fiscal risk.
Yes. Yes.
Mark you.
Yes.
The wording is most important.
Very important. Yes. You're listening.
It doesn't even talk about fiscal risk. It says quasi-fiscal risk.
Yes, but at least there's a risk.
Quasi-fiscal risk. That is what the IMF says. With operations transferred to Gold Board, future gold sector policy should focus on reducing operational costs. Operational costs.
Right.
Strengthening transparency, improving responsible sourcing, and managing the microeconomic, physical, and environmental risk from Ghana's expanding gold sector. This is the IMF.
Yes.
So, in one breath, if you listen to the IMF, what they describe as loss is also described as cost.
No.
No, sir.
No,
No, read it for yourself.
I listened to, but what the entire loss they talk about is not the operational cost.
Shall I read it
says,
again?
no, I listen, it says reduce operational cost. It's that part of operational cost that leads to losses.
Master, listen.
Yes.
Listen.
So losses in itself is not operational cost.
Master, no problem. Listen. It says, this paper, that is this, examines the legacy of the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program, which helped formalize artisanal gold exports, rebuild reserves, and support foreign exchange market stabilization during Ghana's debt crisis. That's the verdict of the IMF. That whatever is calculated as loss and so on, did these things that the IMF identifies.
Yes, please continue.
Hold on.
Yes.
The program scaled rapidly, making gold-related flows central to revenue accumulation and forex sales. You understand? But generated sizable losses for the Bank of Ghana and exposed quasi-financial risk.
No, Uncle, please repeat that
it's
point.
One sentence.
No, repeat it.
I'll repeat
generated
it
sizable loss.
But
that's also a very important word.
Yes, but
sizable loss.
Oh, hold on.
No, Uncle, you are repeating some aspects.
Have I hidden it? You want me to repeat?
Yes, I just want to repeat it. Yes.
But also generated sizable losses for Bank of Ghana and exposed quasi-fiscal risk.
Yes.
That's what the IMF says.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, my brother. This is your yes. No problem. My brother, take your time.
Yes, Uncle.
You see, accounting is an interesting area. And there are all kinds of concepts in accounting. So, for example, in accounting, if money is lost, it may be described, and you should know that, it may be described as general deficiency. When money is missing in accounts and it's described as general deficiency, there's no criminal motive. You understand?
Yeah.
You cannot prosecute for general deficiency. Even though the money is not there, money which is supposed to be there is not there, once it's described as resulting from general deficiency and so on, there are other factors, administrative, costs, and so on, which go into the declaration of general deficiency and so on. That's accounting. In accounting, you may, as the IMF has done, calculate cost as losses. And you may decide that because they are costs, they cannot be counted as losses. It depends on the perspective of whoever is writing that report. You understand?
Yes.
Now, the point is that every policy measure which is implemented, without exception, has cost. There's no policy measure which is implemented without cost. It has cost. Should we then describe the cost as losses or what? That's the question that faces us. You understand? So even when you come to look at the Bank of Ghana, what is sitting on the books of the Bank of Ghana, they may not be losses, they may be costs. Dependent on who is doing the evaluation and what yardstick the evaluer determines to use, it may be counted as cost. Now, the question to ask is cost for what? And I read that portion, which is clear. This is what the IMF itself is saying. The cost for what? It is cost for the formalization of artisanal gold exports. It is cost for rebuilding reserves. It is cost for supporting the foreign exchange market stabilization during Ghana's debt crisis. These are the activities. These are the intended objectives which have been achieved. So these are costs for what we're experiencing today. You see, the fall, the improvement in the value of the cedi from 17 to $1 to 11 to $1 came with a cost. What is that cost? Is that cost a loss? The drop in inflation figures came with a cost. What is that cost? You understand? Even the reduction in the external debt position of Ghana must come with a cost. The stabilization of artisanal mining exports from artisanal mining, which the IMF recognizes, must come with a cost. What is the cost? So we should not be confusing cost of policy implementation with losses. That's one point. Now, the second point is that this program which is being implemented today by the Gold Board, or which was implemented by the Gold Board in 2025, is the same model which was designed by the NPP administration. And that is why NPP communicators have insisted that the Gold Board should not be given credit for what is happening, and that the credit rightly belongs to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. If I lie, tell me.
The IMF has said so.
Yeah?
The report has said so, that it started in 2022. So that's a fact.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if that is a fact, if the Gold Board is implementing the model that you designed, with these cost implications, where is the noise coming from? Why is there so much noise? But it's the same model. And indeed, when in 2024, the implementation of the model which you designed incurred more debt than we are incurring today. More losses, if you have to use the word losses, than we are incurring today.
No, not necessarily. No. Because you just talked about a 2024 loss, which is about $400 million. I mean, you can't compare that to 1.7 billion for 2025, quite clearly.
Look at the volumes.
Well, okay.
You see, don't do one-sided analysis.
I get it.
The figures are not absolute.
Yes.
The figures relate to volumes also.
I agree.
So if you look at volumes, you cannot be making the statement that you're making.
I agree.
You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
So what is this noise about?
I understand. I get the point you're making.
What is this noise about? The only way to understand this noise is to listen to that MPP, former member of parliament, who was talking to party communicators in the headquarters.
Angwesi, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That is not fair, Angwesi. That cannot be fair. Angwesi is not fair.
What do you mean it's not
But
fair?
he has just told you that the Sylvester Tete matter is his matter.
It's not fair. You
It's
are
not an
trying
MPP
to spread the message that we are doing propaganda.
I'm saying that Sylvester Mensah's matter
is his matter.
It's a Sylvester Mensah
Yes,
matter.
sly matter.
Sly matter.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that given the analysis that I have made,
Okay.
given the analysis of the International Monetary Fund itself, given history, a 2-year history,
Yes.
given the claim that even Collins has made before, that this whole gold board project is not new. It's a Bawumia introduced project. Where is the noise coming from? How do you explain the noise if you don't listen to Sylvester Mensah?
No, Angwesi.
Show me.
No. My brother, what are the issues? Angwesi, you just read a document to us from the IMF. And you said everything is summarized in the preamble. Of course, in the preamble. Then you said that the preamble talked about the benefits. Nobody has any argument with that. But the preamble also told you that there were sizable losses. Then you proceeded to say that the IMF also made a point about reducing operational costs. And you linked operational costs to losses. And said that the IMF at one point talks about losses and another point talks about operational costs. And that you think that even the IMF themselves are interlinked in their comments. I'm saying no. Losses are losses. Operational costs is operational costs. There's no ambiguity with that. Of course, if you look at the paper, the book, the document that you just handed over to me, let's go to 13, paragraph 13. DGPP operations have generated significant losses for the BOG. This is the IMF own document. There's no ambiguity as to whether there are losses or operational costs. There's no ambiguity. There's a loss. In fact, the IMF themselves make it clear here that in 2024, there was a loss of 400 million, which was 0.5% of GDP. In 2025, it has gone on to 1.7 billion, which is 1.5% of GDP. So there's no ambiguity between the losses and operational costs. There's no ambiguity. There is a loss. That's fundamental. And that is why the IMF themselves have told you that there's a quasi-risk. There's a risk to the Bank of Ghana's operations if they continue recording these losses in their books. My argument is that how do we as a country begin to fashion out the operations of Gold Board and Bank of Ghana's gold purchase program to ensure that we don't come back to another 1.7 billion loss? That is significant. That is my point.
My brother.
That is my point. And it is very clear here, Angwesi, as to whether the program started in 2022 or not. That is a fact. The IMF document itself, and I can read it. It started during the domestic debt crisis, which was in 2022. So go to paragraph 7. They've made that clear. But the Gold Board, as they said, is a scale-up. What we were doing in 2022, we didn't have a Gold Board Act that made the Gold Board a monopoly. We didn't have that in 2022. So we can commend them for that scale-up. Obviously, it has some implications.
So this is in response to the volumes arguments.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We didn't have a monopoly. Now, every small scale you can buy, you can sell, unless you go to board. So obviously, it will scale up on the basis of the new act. That is fundamental.
Master.
So you see, there's no difference between operational costs and losses.
Right.
What the World Bank is telling you is that we have seen some significant gains. These gains is bringing some sizable losses to Bank of Ghana. And they're even telling Bank of Ghana to scale down on the activities within that space. I've listened to Esame Jennifer last time they held a program, that they are trying to now be on their own, not to rely on the Bank of Ghana to supply them. That is the way to see how we are going to reduce those losses. But as to whether there is loss or not, there is a loss of 1.7 billion. It is unprecedented. Let's all have a conversation about it and see how best we can turn things around. It is not an operational cost. It is a loss in the books of Bank of Ghana.
Okay, Moro. Here is the IMF saying that a certain operation is leading to losses. So you would expect that the operation which is leading to losses, which the IMF itself has identified, the IMF would not want to invest in it. True or false?
Right. I get that point you're making.
Now you have a situation where the IMF, which is claiming that that operation incurs losses and so on, is offering to invest in that operation which is incurring losses. Does that make sense?
I don't know where that. Maybe I don't have that information.
I'm giving you that information.
Okay. I don't have that information that the IMF wants to invest.
Because according to the Gold Board, it has two offers.
Yes.
One from the Bank of Ghana and one from the International Monetary Fund to raise the finances necessary for this operation,
That's true.
which they claim is causing losses.
I get you, but I foresee. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it simply doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. So in doing analysis, you have to bring in all of these things. In order that your analysis is cogent and so on, it doesn't make sense. Then for me, I'm looking at the ideological underpinnings in these matters. What the Mahama administration is doing is alien to the IMF's prescriptions.
Okay.
The IMF over the years, way before, but let's take the base year as 1983. The IMF's position has been that the cedi should be allowed to fall freely on the international market. That's the IMF position. IMF has consistently been opposed to measures which will stabilize the cedi since 1983. Now, what is the consequence? The consequence of that is that since 1983, the Ghanaian cedi has been devalued by more than 34,000%. Check the figures. So what the Mahama administration is doing is that it is showing that the IMF's prescription since 1983 has not worked, is not workable, and that there's a viable alternative which can stabilize the national currency. Obviously, the IMF will not be happy with this. Okay? Now, if there's an ideological positioning which pitches the IMF against the Mahama administration, are you surprised that cost of policy implementation is being classified as losses? It's an ideological battle. We are in the realm of ideological battle now. The IMF is classifying cost of implementing policy as losses in order to justify the position that's taken wrongly, which has led to the devastation of the Ghanaian economy from 1983. It's trying to justify it by this play on words. And I think that we as Ghanaian people should see through it and rise above it. This ideological battle is conceived in all of this banter about cost and losses and so on. It's conceived. What has been the IMF's position on currency stabilization since 1983? Check. And if you check the IMF's position on currency stabilization since the Rawlings days, you would understand why what this is happening.
It's interesting because, you know,
but the Mahama administration, His Excellency, are they still not in agreement with the IMF?
Or you mean the...
After the extended credit agreement.
You mean the...
agreement with the
No
IMF.
no problem.
Yes,
you see,
I know. The agreement
the policy something is
about Mr. Mahama's Excellency trying to move away from that ideological... I'm telling you that they are still there.
No, let me explain. You see, in all of this, there's a framework, which is the general. The framework, which is the general. I hope it's clear. Within that framework, they may exist, and in fact, they do exist, options within the framework. The Mahama administration inherited an IMF program, which was contracted by the Akufo-Addo administration. It decided to go ahead with the problem. So in terms of policy framework, there was no difference between the Mahama administration and the Akufo-Addo administration. So ask yourself, how is it that the policy framework is the same, but outcomes have been different?
But Uncle,
outcomes have been different Because within that framework, the options which have been selected by the Mahama administration have been different from the options which were selected by the Akufo-Addo administration. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
what I'm saying is that that program that Mr. Mahama, His Excellency, inherited from the NPP government has ended. When it ended, the Mahama administration now took a decision on their own, not following what Mr. Akufo-Addo did. After the exit, they went into another agreement.
No. That's
you're talking about
consequential to the first agreement.
No, it's
you're
not
talking about the policy coordination.
Yes, it's not consequential. They decided to assign to it.
But that's a non-funding.
But I'm saying
No.
You are saying that it's consequential, and that it follows. No, I'm saying that this is a decision by the Mahama administration to go into that program after it has exited the Akufo-Addo administration.
But the thing is that we are members of the IMF.
I've not said you are.
We can't run away.
The point I was making is
when President Mahama assumed office on 7th January 2025, he could have cancelled the deal with the IMF.
Right.
Ghana is a sovereign state. We could have cancelled the deal with the IMF.
Yes.
He elected to go along with it.
Yes.
Right. Okay? So it was a matter of choice. You understand?
Okay.
Then, at the end of the funded program, there's the non-funded program, which is consequential.
It's not consequential. That's where I disagree with you.
You say it's consequential.
It's not.
It's not consequential.
It's a decision you have to take. And Mahama
At every stage, you take a decision.
No, but I'm saying that Mr. Mahama took that decision to go into another agreement.
That Mr. Mahama
He's not
took that
disagreeing.
decision. But I'm saying that it is normal if you finish the funded program to go into the non-funding
program
package. It's normal. Okay? It would have been abnormal if the Mahama administration had decided that we are not, proceeding after the funded program with the non-funded program.
That is where I disagree with you.
It would have been abnormal.
No, that's why I disagree with you. When Mr. Akufo-Addo took over in 2016 or 2017, there was an IMF program. When we exited that program, I don't recall Nana Adanko Akufo-Addo.
No, he didn't go to PCI, right?
Absolutely.
No, he ended it.
So that was a decision. It's not a consequential.
Right. That's fine.
It's not a follow-up. That's the point I'm making.
It's
a decision.
It's the same as it is fact.
It's a fact. He did not sign up to a PCI. He did not sign to a PCI.
So now you have changed your position.
He's not playing the PCI.
All right.
So
Kwame, let me bring in a few ways now. So Kwame Sapwa-Seidu says that the IMF itself, I think, is a bit confused. So there's a loss. But can we honestly say that the recovery that beats the IMF's expectations could be achieved without the backing of the economy through Gold Board? If you read the article, you realize the economy has outperformed every single indicator. Can we disaggregate this further? And he sends me the story about Ghana's economic recovery beats IMF expectations. So I think Kwame says that, look, how else did you expect this to happen if there was no cost to it? I think that's where Kwame Sapwa-Seidu is saying is coming from. Kwame, thank you. Now, Moses from Bawe says that, Moses Bawe says, it appears that the NPP is so desperate to hang the young man that they no longer believe in below the line and above the line treatment of transactions. Above the line treatment results in operating losses, while below the line treatment results in nominal losses. Accounting standards regulate how it distinguishes between the two. No wonder the auditors did not consider the loss as an operating loss. Foreign exchange transactions usually result in the below the line losses. How it is attributable to Gold Board is difficult to understand because they don't hold foreign exchange reserves, according to Moses. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm, he says that, look, my brother, Honorable Adomako has just read to you the World Bank reports on 2025 on Gold Board. Actually, the IMF reports, it's not the World Bank, on 2025. And it says that, I was also thinking you were going to ask him to read to us from which page of the IMF report that says that the losses were incurred by Gold Board. And as for Apenyoma King, I just want to tell him that Sami Gyamfi will meet him squarely at the court. Sami Gyamfi, I know, will not just make these allegations for nothing. And again, about the issue of the probe, the NDC is also calling for the probe to start from 2021, from the gold for oil to date. The coming days will be interesting. Let's see how it goes. My brother, don't you also think that it is time we held all state agencies that have incurred losses for the state from 2017 to date? What about that? Alhaji Suwari from New York, he says that Honorable Adomako acknowledges that there was a $400 million losses in 2024, but argues that the loss in 2025 was significantly higher. What he fails to acknowledge, however, is that the reported cost would naturally increase as the domestic gold purchasing program was significantly scaled under Gold Board's operations. There was also a substantial increase in the price of gold between 2024 and 2025. Therefore, FSA fees and discounts to off-takers are calculated as percentages of the value or volume of gold purchased and sold. The absolute cost of the program would inevitably increase as the scale and value of transactions increase. So simply, comparing the 2024 and 2025 figures without considering the dramatic expansion of the program and the significant rise in gold prices gives a misleading picture of the issue. Ide Mukhtar says that it has always been worthy listening to Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr.'s knowledgeable presentation on every set. He has just done justice to the issue with regards to both the IMF and the Gold Board. But he assures that be assured that the Adomako and the MP aren't ready to learn, neither do they have the love of Ghana at heart. In all indications, the MP must be left in their fate as they are. Papa Bisu, he sends this message. He says that, good morning. The trotro drivers are seriously sabotaging the government by increasing their fares unreasonably. The transport minister must stop them before it is too late because they are gradually eroding the gains of NDC government and citizens are talking. For example, this morning, the trotro drivers operating from Estate Junction and at Takumono to La Paz, instead of charging 9 cedis to Achimota overhead, are now charging 12 cedis. Similar increases are ongoing in other places. Unfair. Papa Bisu, unfortunately, the transport minister has a very poor communications culture. He doesn't pick calls, he doesn't respond to WhatsApp messages, no text messages, and a lot of my media friends are complaining. You know, if you don't grant interview, at least pick their call and explain the things to them. And unfortunately, his phone culture is very poor. He doesn't pick calls, he doesn't respond to WhatsApp messages. I don't know what his problem is. You're a public officer, you can't just be there and not pick calls at all. I can understand if once in a while you miss it because you're busy, but if everybody is complaining, the media are complaining that you don't pick calls, then you need to watch it. Those of you who are close to the transport minister, please tell him that the complaints about him is becoming too much. He doesn't pick calls, and it's very bad. He must watch it. Peter T. from Shukura says, good morning. This is Peter T. from Shukura. Penyo Marking is aware that he has no case in this presentation at Parliament seeking for clearance of the allegations he claims he has been leveled against him. He can still decide to go to court, but the truth shall still be told. What is wrong would continue to be extra wrong. That's Peter T. from Shukura. Now, Mansa Musa, who is with the Voice of London Radio, says that to defeat it and wrestle free of IMF control is a task born in blood and sweat and sweaty struggle. But to defeat the destruction agenda of the IMF's local supporting cast is a life and death matter. Mansa Musa, Charlie Massa, a very powerful statement. Hassan Saudogo, he says that Kabila is saying the same as Uncle Kwesi. Okay, I've not listened to Kabila. I don't know what Kabila's views are, but if he's saying what maybe it's just perhaps they just clash, it must clash. But it's just one of those things. They probably just agree, not because they have agreed to agree, but you know. No, so Mancha Bruce the second. He says that Gold Board cannot be insulated from the $1.7 billion loss. According to the IMF and the subsequent reporting, government BOG and Gold Board signed an agreement in July 2026 to transfer all DGPP operations from BOG to Gold Board, with responsibility for these losses now transferred to Gold Board for onwards absorption by government from July 2026. The IMF explicitly welcomed this to prevent further financial risk being placed on the central bank's balance sheet and called on BOG to discontinue quasi fiscal operations. Legal conclusion: you cannot insulate Gold Board from three ways. One, fiscal liability. Under the new arrangement, Gold Board assumes operational responsibility, but the ultimate fiscal loss remains with government. Two, causation. Even before July 2026, a portion of the $1.7 billion US dollars is directly traceable to fees paid to Gold Board. 3. Governance. Operating costs were 14.5% of gold purchase value in 2025, almost 3 times the 5% target, which raises public procurement and value for money questions. Don't be deceived and don't berate Apenyo Marking. Cry for Mother Ghana. Mancha Bruce the second from Takrady, he sends this message. Sani Salihu, he says that in all honesty, the threat, fabrication, and character assassination started with a minority leader. Alas, Sami Jimfioli echoed the saying that it's only a bad leader who wears a tattered khaki, loin cloth, yet criticizes his subjects for wearing the same. Aside from the $1.7 billion US dollars policy causing Ghana not enjoying a relatively stable currency, have all our gold reserves not accumulated significantly? Has gold smuggling and other illegal gold activities not been drastically minimized? Let Parliament also have a bite of this brew. Haha, we are tired. Good morning from Sani Salihu. And finally, Abdul Kudu says, Kwesi has done an impact analysis of the defamation suit on Apenyo. I think it will be complete and exciting. If we could do the same impact analysis on Sami, will Sami be finished if the case goes against him? He wants to know. All right. So Stay with us, don't go anywhere. Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits. Happy smile.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Miss your friend Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Miss your friend me once now.
Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Miss your friend is sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Tum preko.
Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro. We have just 5 minutes to go. let me see what I can do with the 5 minutes. So, National Identification Authority has some good news for you. Oh, well, let me go ahead. Important news for you. Attention, businesses, institutions, and service providers. The National Identification Authority, NI, wishes to inform the public and all institutions that a new law, LI 2523, has introduced important changes to how Ghana card identities are verified. Under the new requirements, biometric verification is now the principal means of confirming the identity of Ghana card holders. So what does this mean for you? Do not rely only on the photograph or physical appearance of the person presenting a Ghana card. Where biometric verification is required, you must use the NIA-approved biometric verification system. You should also not photocopy, scan, retain copies or images of the Ghana card or rely on ocular or visual inspection alone for identity verification, except where permitted by law. Please take note, carrying out verification through unauthorized copies or ocular inspection is an offense under LI 2523 and is punishable by penalties of up to 2,000 penalty units for a body corporate and up to 1,000 penalty units for a partnership or other undertaking payable by each partner or responsible person. If you are an institution or if your institution or business or agency verifies identities, then take the next step and onboard onto the NIA's Identity Verification System platform, the IVSP. Get your systems ready, train your staff, and begin putting the new requirements into practice. The transition period for institutions to unload or to onboard runs from 27th July to 2nd November 2026, but institutions are encouraged to start their compliance preparations now. These changes are designed to strengthen identity security, prevent impersonation and fraud, and better protect the personal data of Ghana card holders. For more information and onboarding support, send us an email, idverification@nia.gov.gh, or call the NIA today on 0302 999 306, 307, or 309. NIA providing future solutions now. There's another one I need to draw your attention to. All right, so remember that the National Youth Authority's National Youth Month is ongoing. There's a lot has happened. But from the 25th of August, which was yesterday, in fact, there was the Interagency Football Gala at the Accra Sports Stadium, followed by Intergenerational Dialogue on 25th of August. There's a month-long celebration that comes to a close on 30th of August, which is just 5 days away from today, with the Red Means, no, actually 4 days away from today, with the Red Means Stop campaign at the Independence Square. Young people are encouraged to register to attend, volunteer, exhibit their products and services, or sign as media partners with the official National Youth Month registration portal. The 6th of August is Volunteer, Learn, Lead, Serve, National Youth Authority, facilitating youth development. And also this one, I need to, all right. Okay. Just give me a second for me to do this, and then we can perhaps call it a day. Yep. All right. So, right. So this, one of my favorite companies in Ghana, MNC Group, it's your number one partner for in trading, real estate development, general logistics, procurement, management consultancy, investment advisory, import and export. They have headquarters in East Legon, Accra, Ghana. They also have group offices in Dubai, Hong Kong, and Guangzhou in China, Virginia, USA, Arizona, Italy, and Hanover, Germany. We connect markets that drive business growth. With tailor-made solutions that meet your needs. So trust us to maximize your deal. Reach us on MNC Group at mncgroupgh.com or call 0302 998 or 026 550 5337. MNC Group, totally reliant. And then 3 more messages, and then I can leave you. So Alhaji Abdul Razak says that Moro Apenyo's decision to go to court was employed to prevent Parliament from doing a quick job of the investigation. With courts, it's going to take forever. Maybe it won't take forever. Ida Mukhtar says Mr. Ponyomaking has not been fair to himself and the MPP surrogate as well as the Ghanaian populace. Why add the various media houses to his lawsuit without adding that of Kevin Taylor, who first and foremost broke the said allegation of his being a devious blah blah blah? Apenyo should stop playing with our minds and intellect. I wish to suggest that his suit is a defective one and dead on arrival, hence it's on bad faith. All right, so Carlos from Ododo says there is an alleged information reaching us that a campaign and propaganda aimed at destroying the image of Gold Board may be deliberate and could be linked to groups involved in the smuggling of gold from Ghana. According to these allegations, the establishment and operations of Gold Board have made it more difficult for certain individuals and syndicates to engage in the illegal smuggling of Ghana's gold. It is further alleged that some of these groups may have attempted to influence certain politicians and other individuals by financially inducing them to spread false or misleading information about Gold Board and its CEO. The alleged objective is to damage the reputation of Gold Board and its leadership, weaken public confidence, and it says, Carlos, and I say, God bless you. And finally, the currency stabilization and inflation control comes with a cost. Afenyo and his co-host, the MP, should know that they should know better. Commend Sami for good work done. Isa Hamid from Tema, Site 2. Wow. Sami Ablodipe, where have you been? Long time. Formerly of Radio Gold. He's now based in the States. He says, Moro, why is the MP trying to make the operational costs appear on Gold Board's books at a cost? Why are they attacking Gold Board rather than questioning why the BOG as a policy records values of assets with FX rates lower than what it pertains on the market, which is what actually results in such cost? Sam, you're actually forwarding Sam from Dansuma's message. It's not from you, Sammy. Thank you. My sincere apologies. In fact, the initial impression I got was that it was coming from you. Now, Seth Iyaf, who is with the GBC, says, good morning, Moro. Every reason underpinning the loss of $1.7 billion has been explained succinctly by the IMF. Parliamentary probe will settle it once and for all. Obviously, thank you very much for joining us. It's been wonderful having you. And also, Collins Aduma Komenta, who is the Honourable Member of Parliament for the Ifijakwa North constituency. Fantastic man. We're always happy to have him join us here. He's a consummate, patriotic Ghanaian. You can't take that away from him. Anyway, all right. My name is Audumor. Thanks for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Bye-bye.
As I could be in my coat of